think the more time I spend sitting on the boat waiting, the more apprehensive I get. I'll feel a lot more confident actually once I get out onto the board and just start chewing off some mileage on this expedition. We have a really challenging section the first 2 or 3 days. We need really good weather to make it happen, and the sooner we do that, the better.
I knew the stretch of beach from Old Masset to Rose Spit would be long, but the remoteness, the smallness that I felt was a lot more than I expected. In a way, I guess this is really what I'm searching for. It's these moments of quiet, the absence of all human activity or influence, the connection to the land, and the simplicity of it all. A few times today during my paddle, I paused to look around and really soak it all in. I could see all the way across Dixon Entrance to the snow-capped mountains of Alaska. This here was the exact place where the proposed tankers would travel. As I neared Rose Spit, I met up with the crew to switch boards and to get my overnight gear. The following section was going to be a challenge. It was remote, exposed, with no place to anchor for the support boat. I'd be totally on my own. Calgary-based Enbridge Inc. has proposed a 1,200-kilometer pipeline from the oil sands in Alberta to the port of Kitimat in British Columbia. From here, 225 supertankers per year, each transporting up to 2 million barrels of oil, will travel through the narrow inlets of the Great Bear Rainforest en route to markets in Asia. The project would see $5 billion spent during its construction and generate an average of 1,850 jobs over 3 years. Upon completion, 217 permanent jobs would be created for the lifetime of the project. In contrast, coastal fisheries and tourism employs 40,000 people annually and relies on an intact coastline. Should the project go ahead, it will contribute $312 billion to Canada's GDP over 30 years. Of this, BC stands to earn $2 billion a year, which is equal to the current contribution of fisheries and tourism. If there was an oil spill, these existing industries and a West Coast way of life would be compromised and potentially leave taxpayers with a cleanup bill in excess of $10 billion. Complicating the cleanup process is that the substance being shipped is diluted bitumen, a sticky, viscous fluid that doesn't float on the surface like regular crude oil. Dilbit can sink, making containment booms and skimming largely ineffective. According to Environment Canada, Hecate Strait is the fourth most dangerous body of water in the world, with recorded wind speeds of 180 kilometers an hour and waves greater than 20 meters in extreme conditions. If a spill were to happen, it would by definition be difficult to contain, as was the case with the Exxon Valdez. No one can guarantee whether a spill will or will not happen, and while there may be much to gain, the real consideration should be, what do we stand to lose?